No, you don't need the.
I'm doing this my way. He a legend, he a legend, he a legend. He a legend, he a legend, he a legend. He a legend. Welcome to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league of items. Welcome to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league of items.
What's up, everybody? It's Pikel with League of Items, and today we're going to go over LPL, LCK, LEC, and LCS. There are no prize picks up yet, and I'm not going to wait for them. So instead, I'm just going to go through every game for tomorrow, look at the numbers on Bet365, and do the first round of giveaways. And also, I won a seat last night. So my lineup was a combination of V5 and Damwon with T1 in my team slot. The reason I felt like I should play this is because I noticed that Karsa was mispriced because Xiaolong Bao played the match previously, so Karsa was listed as the second jungler on V5, which gave you some additional money to work with. So I put in Karsa into the jungle slot. Originally, I was going to try to do a full V5 stack for my 4 stack, but it just didn't fit as well as some of the other combinations, and I thought this would be more different. And ultimately, you know, being different is important on DraftKings, especially when there's a seat involved. So this is a seat for the 300K Fantasy LoL World Championship. I won the 89th out of 200 qualifiers. So I'm not sure how many I can win, but I'm going to try to get another couple seats over the next few months. I think that it's going to happen during Worlds or something like that. Either way, it's exciting. There might be a live final. I'm not 100% sure. But before we get into the rest of... I should just say the video. Say who I picked then. So Fodik is my captain. Fodik has been playing really well recently and gets a lot of kills. V5 funnels a lot of things to him, but also 80 carries are very strong right now. Things like Twitch and Zeri allow 80 carries a huge upside, which isn't necessarily available on champions like Ezreal. Or it's available on those other champions, but it's not as consistently going to happen. Like Ezreal, even Senna, champions like that. So my lineup was Fodik as my captain. Then I had Nuguri in the top lane. I had Karsa in the jungle, Showmaker, Deokdam, and Kellen to finish off my Damwon Kia stack. And then I had T1 in the team slot. So T1 went 2-0 last night. Damwon Kia went 2-0 last night. And V5 was pushed to the limit against Anyone's Legend. There was a shot that a lot of these other teams in this contest were going to catch me with Anyone's Legend stacks. But I ended up holding them off. So the way that I would talk about this lineup is that it's a 2-4-1 double 80 carry with all favorites. So those are the kinds of lineups that do well in these smaller fields. At least I do well with them in these smaller fields. So that's that. Now let's talk about the giveaway. So like I said before, if you want to be in the giveaway, you need to join Patreon, either the $1 or $10 tier, and then you need to post a comment on one of my videos with a content idea you want to see on my channel, your favorite your favorite underdog on the upcoming slate, and then the team that you think will win their league or will win Worlds, or both. A lot of you guys are just using the same teams for both of those things, which is totally fine. I don't mind. So let's get rid of that. So now we're doing the actual giveaway. So listen up. If you hear your name, you have won. And in order to claim your prize, you need to message me on Patreon just to make sure everybody's following the rules. So first up, Savages in my town. You're a winner. Then we have Nick Hooper. We have Eric Maki. We have Zeekster69. Keep on going. Alex Wallace. You're also a winner. So it's basically everybody so far that's posted. Emmerich wins. And then that's my Johnson. You win as well. So everybody who just heard their name, message me on Patreon with your information about how you want me to pay you. I'm probably only doing PayPal and Venmo. That's really how I'd like to pay out. So if that's a problem, maybe we can figure something out. But that's the first round of the giveaways. Congrats to all the winners, and thanks again to everybody for all the support. So, hitting 1,000 on YouTube was pretty big to me. It's a goal that I've had for a decent amount of time. So let's talk about the upcoming games, and we're going to be using Bet365 for the numbers. But before we get into the specific numbers, we're going to take a look just on this odds portal. We can compare these lines and stuff like that. So first up, we have LNG against LGD. Ale, Tarzan, Duanbi, Light, Elwandi against Chilizi, Shadow, Hao Chao, Assam, and Jin Zhao. LNG is clearly the better team. They're a huge favorite. I think that if you're going to make some kind of parlay, you can justify throwing them in there. It's not big value or anything like that. But, why not? If it loses, feel bad, man. But, that's just how parlays work. Second match of the day, we have JDG against FPX. On FPX, we have Xiaolahu, Clid, Care, LWX, and Hong. FPX has been playing okay recently, but JDG, I think, is just a better team. They're a different class of team in my mind. I've been high on JDG for the past couple of years. Then we have 369, Kanavi, Yagao, Hope, and Missing. So 369 and Xiaolahu, that's a good matchup. It should be a bloody matchup. Kanavi against Clid. I think that Kanavi has a big advantage in this matchup specifically. Clid is more of like a gank jungler helping out the team and doesn't have the same huge carry upside that Kanavi has, and I like that in my junglers. That's the side that I prefer. Kanavi is also the one who's more likely to completely strangle out Clid in the jungle matchup and create some kind of huge advantage that makes the game feel extremely lopsided. Yagao against Care. This is a good meta for Yagao. Zoe is a very easy champion to fit into a lot of the team compositions. We saw Caps have a crazy game on Zoe today, even though they lost. It's just a very good champion at getting picks and kind of either being oppressive from ahead or stalling out games from behind. Then in the bot lane, we have Hope and Missing against LWX and Hong. It's a pretty close match. They're both solid bot lanes. They can both play all of the 80 carries that we want them to play. I don't think they necessarily have the mechanical upside to some of the other 80 carries that we have throughout the world, but that's fine. I prefer the JDG side. I'm going to look to incorporate them. I'm going to probably throw together some huge parlay just for fun. Then last but not least, we have the match of the day in the LPL. Top Esports against Weibo Gaming. So Top Esports has played very well recently and is getting really hyped up. I don't know if I agree with the hype. They are definitely one of the better teams in the LPL. I think I have them as my second or third favorite team in the region. I just think that the difference between Top Esports and Weibo Gaming isn't that big. So first up, let's talk about the top lane. Wayward against the Shy. Some people think that Wayward's better than the Shy. Other people have been watching League of Legends for 10 years and understand just how good the Shy is at his peak. The one thing that annoys people about the Shy is that he has these games where he has an insane amount of deaths, and that's pretty tilting for DraftKings reasons. But in terms of real-life League of Legends, the Shy is better than Wayward. I cannot think anything other than that. If you feel differently, that's fine. Tian against SFM. Tian has had a good split. There was a while there where Tian just looked completely dusted and not good at League of Legends anymore and was a liability to his team. He's kind of turned it around. He still has playmaking upside, but he also has the benefit of being on a very strong roster. So you have to take that into consideration. SFM is more of a counter-picking jungler. He plays a lot of the strong champions at all times, but he also has an insane champion pool. He can probably play between 10 to 15 different junglers at any point in time. Always has unique builds. Again, it can be somewhat tilting because, it makes it look worse when they lose, but in reality, he's trying to carve out advantages for his team, and you got to respect that. So with SFM, so far this split, he's played a ton of Viego. I think there was one point where he played 10 games of Viego in a row. He's a very good jungler. I don't think that he necessarily has an advantage against Tian, but I think stylistically it's probably a good matchup. So far we have the Shy with an advantage in the top lane, and then it's basically even in the jungle. In the mid lane, we have Angel against Knight. Knight is better than Angel. Angel is a good mid laner, but he's not a great mid laner. Even if you want to say that Angel is like a top 10 mid laner in the world, he's not Knight. Knight is just a different caliber of player, and you can have two very good players where one is just better than the other one. And that's the case here with Knight and Angel. There are definitely matchups where Angel can win in an individual game, but over time, if you played out 100 games, Knight is going to get you more advantages than Angel will. Then, last but not least, we have Jackie Love and Mark against Huan Feng and An. So I think that Huan Feng is a better AD carry than Jackie Love. Period. Jackie Love is a very good... It's kind of the inverse of what's happening in the mid lane. Jackie Love was on a World Championship team. He wasn't necessarily the most important player on that team. That was still the Cheyenne rookie. But Jackie Love is very good, has a good pedigree, has been thought of as a very good player for probably 5 years now, and that does mean something. But Huan Feng hasn't been given the level of respect that he deserves for basically carrying a team to the World Finals. And it's not that he didn't have any help. Angel had some really good performances at Worlds. SFM had some good performances at Worlds. Bin had some good performances at Worlds. But Huan Feng was the focal point that enemy teams were trying to keep track of and keep down, and he just overcame that consistently. So I prefer Huan Feng and An over Jackie Love and Mark. I know that they're the underdog. I know that it's not a great spot where you're going to get tremendous value on them as an underdog. Right now, the number's at plus 134. I think that you can feel okay about that number, but I think if it was more, if the line was more in line with what people actually think in terms of the public, maybe not the betting public, but the public in general, I think that number should be a little bigger, probably closer to 150 or 160, just to incentivize people to bet it. Because this one, I just don't think there's much value there. I want to be on the Weibo Gaming side. I'll probably have some DraftKings lineups with Weibo Gaming. This should hopefully be a very bloody matchup. You could theoretically get a game stack out of this game. And it's going to be a very fun match to watch, and there is something to be said for that. So let's just compare these lines real quick. So we have minus 600 to 556, minus 417 to 450, and then 134 to 125. So all these lines are worse than what's offered, the average offered elsewhere. So there's 15 different books that this aggregates information from. So I would do something like... I guess it doesn't really matter because you can't see anything else. LNG, JDG, Weibo Gaming. I'd be comfortable with that. You're basically just saying Weibo gets the upset. Instead of doing it just on Weibo Gaming, you juice up the line with with JDG and LNG. Let's go to Korea. So in Korea, we have Sandbox against Fredit Brion. Sandbox has looked good recently. Sandbox just beat T1. Kind of a shocking result. And you have to give credit to Sandbox. They've been playing very well recently. There are a lot of people in the Discord that like them. And I think that this is the kind of match where Fredit Brion's going to show up and make me very upset. But I'm fine with taking live Sandbox here. And then Gen G is going to beat Kwangdong Freaks. If they lose that matchup, that'd be kind of shocking. It's not that the Kwangdong Freaks don't have any good players. It's just, they're not the same caliber of team. And it's the kind of matchup that you would just expect Gen G to completely dominate. So let's go to there. Yep. Prince is really the guy for Sandbox that we want to have exposure to. Raptor played instead of Umti in the last match. That was a little bit surprising. And then Kwangdong Freaks, Keen, LM Fate, Teddy, and Hoyt. So Kwangdong played really well in their last match. Oh, Kwangdong is the one who beat 2-1. Okay, I just misspoke. So that was the day where we had the Teddy over. Sandbox beat DRX, which is also a good win. That's why I was thinking highly of them. So I like it's not as impressive of a win, but it's still a good win for Sandbox. Fred Brion recently lost to Hamalife, which is pretty bad. Lost to Genji, lost to KT. And they're just struggling a lot right now. So I think we can just feel comfortable with this. So now it's a 5-leg parlay at plus 386. It's not it's not a great number for a five play parlay, but that happens. Now we can go to the LEC, and on yesterday's video I said that I liked Mad Lions to beat G2. Mad Lions pulls off the upset. I had somebody making a comment on the video about, oh, if you're betting against G2, you're going to lose a bunch of money. Well, guess what? G2 lost, so enjoy that one. So I'm just copying this down for my Discord as well. So first up, we have XL against BDS. XL looked good again today. I'm not going to pick against them. Even though they lost today, correct? They lost to they lost to Vitality, right? Oh, it's a Rogue. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, I had it up already. So I think XL wins. Again, we're not getting as good of a number. Rogue against SK. Rogue should pick up that one pretty easily. Vitality against Astralis. I'm going to be on Vitality. Astralis has looked good, but oh my god, I just saw the next number. Vitality against Astralis. I like Vitality more. Misfits against Mad Lions. That's a tough one. I want to pick Misfits in that spot. 220 is just a psychotic number. Misfits beat BDS today, which isn't that impressive. And then last but not least, we have G2 against Fnatic. I'll take Fnatic in that spot. Today, Fnatic beat Astralis. I think that was a bad draft by Astralis in that game today. So basically, so far we have... Oh, I gotta go in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 10-leg parlay. So now it's 100 to win $8,000. That's pretty interesting. You're probably not going to hit, but you know. Rogue, Vitality, Misfits, Fnatic. I mean, would I be shocked if Vitality lost to Astralis? Absolutely not. Vitality just, loves throwing games like this when I'm supporting them. And then last but not least, let's go to the LCS. TSM against EG. I'm on EG. I'm always on EG. FlyQuest against Dignitas. XL Rogue. EG. FlyQuest Dig. That's not the spring season. We don't need that. We need the summer season. Yeah, it's really kind of sad what's happening with Dig. That swap didn't really make a lot of sense. You're not really changing much. FlyQuest has been playing well. They had a good win over CLG. We were on that one. Then they ended up losing to Team Liquid, but that's kind of reasonable. FlyQuest against Dig. I think we probably just go FlyQuest. They're a slight favorite, which doesn't feel great. Then we have Team Liquid against 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves beat Golden Guardians, lost to Cloud9. Team Liquid lost to TSM, which I called, and beat FlyQuest as a rebound. This is a tough match. I think that 100 Thieves is good against Team Liquid stylistically. I think that Bwipo is better than Someday, not by an extreme degree, but I do think that he's better. At least I prefer to have him on my team. EG Fly. 100 Thieves. In the jungle, Santorin against Closer. Closer's the better player at this point. Mid lane, Abadaga against Bjergsen. Bjergsen is probably a little bit better than Abadage, but it's not to the level that people seem to think that it is. Abadage hasn't really been playing well so far this split, but I'm willing to bet that he turns it around. And then in the bot lane, I do prefer Hansama and Core JJ to over FBI and Huhi, but again, they're both pretty good. I do prefer their bot lane though. So we really have a better jungler on 100 Thieves, and then a better top and bot lane on Team Liquid. So you can kind of try to change up this pick. This one's really a toss-up. I like the extra value I'm getting on 100 Thieves. It really feels like a 50-50 in my mind. And it is close to a 50-50 here, but I'll go ahead and be on 100 Thieves. Then we have Golden Guardians against Immortals. So Golden Guardians against Immortals. Immortals has been struggling. Golden Guardians is really not that much better than them. Golden Guardians beat TSM, lost 100 Thieves. Immortals lost to Evil Geniuses and Dig. I mean, this is a spot where I think you can kind of just play Immortals and feel pretty good about it. Licorice and Revenge. That's basically a toss-up. I might prefer Licorice a little bit. I just think Revenge is overrated, and the idea that they would build around him is kind of insane. Kenvi against Pride Stalker. This could be a good jungle matchup where it's two explosive junglers and Kenvi wins the early game. That could look really good for them. A Blaze Olive against Power of Evil. I probably prefer Power of Evil slightly, and then Lost and Ignar against Stixay and Ale. I prefer Immortals there, so I'm gonna take them. And then CLG against Cloud9. I have to bet against CLG at this point. So I don't really have much I can do about that one, but that's definitely the side I want to be on. I need to lock in these bets. So on DraftKings tomorrow, let's take a look at the different qualifiers that are available. So we have a $200 one and a $115. I'm sure I'll be in the 115. The LEC, we don't have one. And then we have a $400 one in the LCS. That's pretty cool that they're doing that. It's obviously very expensive. They're trying to get some seats set aside for the people who play higher levels. Maybe not the most... I guess I really, can't say anything about it. It's just they might be attracting some people who play high volumes and just want to take a shot at one. So LNG is the biggest favorite tomorrow, so they are the team that is the most expensive. That's kind of surprising to me. I don't think that's necessarily the best DraftKings spot on the slate. Sandbox against Fred Brion, that's another one. I don't think that's necessarily the best spot on the slate. JDG against FPX is probably going to be a good matchup for DraftKings, and Top Esports against Weibo Gaming has the potential to be very good for DraftKings or very bad for DraftKings. I think that it's possible that turns into like the Shy split pushing and SFM just, troll picking and the game going on for, 30, 40, 50 minutes with low kill score. But I'm going to use those teams anyways. Then you could also, get LNG in with assuming they 2-0 and Genji into your lineups assuming they 2-0. In a field of 22 people, you don't really have to get that different. So that's what I'll be doing there most likely. And then in the LCS, EG is the most expensive. Don't think I really want to go there. FlyQuest against Dig. That could get bloody. 100 Thieves against Team Liquid. Not guaranteed to get bloody. Immortals as an underdog, you might want to use them. And then Cloud9 against CLG. The thing that's good about CLG, playing against CLG on DraftKings, is that they play team compositions that are very good at grouping up together and might significantly increase the number of opportunities for big team fights. So this is a game that I'm definitely going to take a look at. I'll probably have Cloud9 as my primary stack. I guess CLG does make sense as getting exposure to them as an underdog on DraftKings. But that's basically it for this video. I know there were no prize picks, but it just wasn't up yet, so that sucks. Over this weekend, I think I'm going to take some time and do my power rankings for every league individually and a global tier list. And, we'll see what else I can do over the weekend. Not 100% sure. Probably just going to take some time to rest. We'll probably end up playing golf. So that's all I've got for you today. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.